If you haven't figured out how to turn your marketing into sales, you are in the right place because today I'm going to be talking about using your marketing to help you create more opportunities to sell your art. My name is Jessica, and I teach artists how to curate their life by creating an art business that they love. They love creating, they love selling, and through all of those activities, they can then also create the life of their dreams. So in this video, we're going to be talking about some of my favorite tips to turn your marketing into sales. That may or may not be what you think. If you have not yet had a chance, there are 2 more videos in this collection that you can go and watch under IGTV. So my first tip for you is to create opportunities for people to want to buy from you. We're not in the business of convincing, and I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. What is the right word that I can say to convince them that they need to buy my art? Instead of that, if you flip it on its head and you turn it into, how can I create more opportunities for them to decide that they want to buy my art? You'll have a lot easier time. You will have a lot easier time. That doesn't sound right. It will be a lot easier to sell it. So how do you do that? In my last video, I talked about some of my favorite ways to market your art and why those ways will help make the selling easier. When you do regular marketing that has a more interactive element to it, it makes it a lot easier to then pick out your ideal art buyers. Video 1. Those good fits are people who align with your collection, your overall, ideal art buyer, and also people that you would be genuinely interested in getting to know better. Once you have identified these people, you want to invite them to spend more time with you. That might mean that you hop on a Zoom call, that they come to your studio, that you go for coffee, that you take your kids to the park together. Local, online, doesn't matter. Invite them to spend some real time with you. Now, we're not just looking for anyone who might show some interest here. We're looking for people that you could possibly and likely form this real connection with. By creating these opportunities for deeper connections where you can talk about your art, you can talk about the way you view the world, you can talk about your interests that relate to your current collection, the larger the chance they're going to convince themselves that they are interested in buying your art. No convincing needed. Once that happens, they are more or less asking for you to sell to them. So at that point, you don't have to feel icky and gross about it. They have asked, and you are going to deliver at that point. Now, when you are following up with that person, you are not going to do it from the place of thinking about yourself and how that's going to make you look. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are following up, because they're worried about what people will think about them. Instead, flip that around and think about how you can help them make the decision that they already have expressed that they want to make. This might be for a period of several days or weeks or months. I'm not asking you to poke the bear. I'm not asking you to say, hey, are you ready? Hey, are you ready? But instead to think, okay, at this point, what might this person need? Do they need more information? Do they need more time? Do they need me to take a step back? Should we just, have another, how can I start another conversation with them around what's going on in their life? At this point, I want you to change the word sales in your head to help them and deepen the connection? How can you do one of those two things once they have said, hey, I really love your stuff. I would like to own a piece in the near future, someday. Any of those types of words. Maybe they don't even say it exactly like that, but they just say, I really love what you've got going on. This is so cool. At that point, you can invite them. Hey, would you like to hear more about the different ways that you can get a piece of art from me? You can buy a commission. You can get one from this collection. I also have some older things that are a little bit cheaper that you might be interested in. And just talk through the options. That is helping. That is not selling. That is helping them decide what is best for them at that point in time. So another tip I have for you is to not invest everything in one person. That comes across as needy, because in your mind it will be, I need this person to buy something from me, or I am not selling my art right now. So will you please buy from me? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, hi, do you want to buy my... No, that's not what we want. We want to have this confidence, this assuredness. And the way that we make that happen is by constantly doing these marketing activities where we can be more visible and create more opportunities to find more people that we want to do these things with. This is how you get out of the feast and famine cycle. You're always loading in friends at the top, creating more, staying in touch, and when necessary, letting some of those people go. Some of them are just not going to be the right fit for whatever reason. Maybe you don't really get along that well and you thought you might, but it just didn't work out. They can move on. Or maybe they just aren't reciprocating and it feels like a one-sided relationship. That's not a friendship. They can go as well. We are looking to make more friends. We are not looking to create a list of people a mile long that we have to stay in touch with. I'm not going to say most of you, but I know a lot of you are like me and you prefer deeper relationships with just a few people. Maybe some of you are the opposite and you just want to know everybody and you want to talk to them all, and that's great too. This is really about your comfort level with how many people you can hold at once. Now, some people that I have created friendships with in my business, I only go back and check in on and say hello every 3 months or 6 months or a year. But I don't, if I find a good person that I want to stay in touch with, whether or not they buy from me, they are going to stay on my list. And I'm going to make sure to circle back around with that person every so often. Also, more practice equals more sales. So you are finding your people through your marketing. You are starting more real friendships with them. And then you are following up with them and using your helping selling technique to get more sales. The more you do that, the more you see what works, the more sales you're going to get. Today I was working with one of my clients who has just started making some sales by following this approach. And when we worked out her pricing for her collections, video one again, she would only have to sell one painting a month to reach her income goals. If she is doing this on a regular basis and following the hourly times that I give her, that's definitely going to happen, and then she's probably even going to exceed those goals because we set her prices at a place where she has space. She doesn't have to be making sales all of the time. She can invest her time, more time for less people every week, which creates more opportunities, which will lead to more sales. Those are some of my favorite tips for getting out of that feast and famine cycle where you're always hoping for that next sale and then you don't know how to get your next one, and it's a little bit like this. We want to create something that's more steady, that you are going to be able to learn how to be consistently creating sales in your business with prices that make you feel good, and creating that confidence in yourself, and that getting rid of the need for people to be validating you from the outside by buying, because you're creating that validation for yourself. If this video was useful for you, please hit the save button so you can have it the next time you're thinking, this just isn't working, what do I do again? I don't remember, what did she say? You've got it in your saved videos. And if you're interested in working with me as a mentor, a marketing and sales strategist, a sneaky therapist, like my clients used to like to call me, I am actually opening up a couple of one-on-one intensive slots, which I have not done for over a year, where we will create a plan for you from beginning to end on what type of marketing to do, when to do it, how much time to spend, what your prices should be, how you can position your collection, all of those things, so you can go out and meet your income goals for the next quarter. If you're interested in learning more about that, hit DM and say, hey, can you tell me the down low? And we'll have a little talk about all of the different services that I'm offering, including those one-on-one intensives. We'll just get to know each other, okay? Have a brilliant day. Talk to you soon.